Hello, my name is Caiti. I came from Texas in the United States. I'm 23 and I decided to join Kipepeo about 3.5 months ago. I signed up to volunteer to do manual labor and I've done a lot actually. So this is what I've been working on. Although you're seeing it's a little bit untamed right now because I haven't been here for the last 3 weeks. But I've just been growing the local vegetables. They're actually called cowpeas. And what we do with these is when they're ready to be harvested, the orphans and vulnerable children will actually eat them. So it's cool, you get to see your work develop. But also for volunteers, I want to go into a couple different things because the first thing I would have liked to know before I came here is a little bit more direction. So if you're planning to come here and volunteer for Kipepeo, you need to know that you're going to have to be your own motivator. You're going to have to self-motivate yourself to help them because they're not going to tell you what to do. So that's the best advice I can give personally because I've had to motivate myself to do all of this and it's cool. I've got a lot done here so far. So follow me and we'll go see the other thing that I did. But yeah, all of this was done manually with just a hoe. There's no tractors or anything. No. TIA, this is Africa. This is the first project I started working on when we got here. So whenever I first came here, the frame was built, but all this ground here was uneven. So this took about 3 weeks to just even out the ground. Again, you can see where we had to hoe up all this land and we actually had to use wheelbarrows to put it inside, so now they can actually start the foundation, put the concrete down, and hopefully start living in there. Hopefully start having the computer classes in there and also housing up street kids as well. That's what their plan is to do with this building that we're building. So that's about what I've done. There's the bricks over there. They kind of got rained on, so they're kind of useless right now. Ovio, that's how you say it in Kiswahili, useless. But yeah, that's what I've done so far. As for living here, it's a lot different. Like, especially if you're from any place like the US or Europe, it's a big change in what you're going to see. Like, especially if you're a feminist, the women do all the work here. That kind of made me mad in the beginning, but you just get used to it. Like I said, I've been here 3.5 months, almost 4 months now. So, yeah, it's something I had to get used to. Something I definitely had to get used to. Also though, if you come volunteer here, you can go on a trip. Like what I just got back from for the last 3 weeks is I went and took a bus down to Rwanda and Uganda, and they're okay with that. Like, the program is okay with letting you do your own thing. However, get some stuff done. Like I said, like, got some pretty good stuff done. Also things like fixing the fence at the school, you know, making calendars. It's really cool. You have to have your own motivation. You have to have your own structure because you're not going to get it from them. Also, for costs, the food is included with your stay here with Kipepeo, so that's always cool. But you might want to buy your own food because it's usually the same. We eat the same thing every day: rice, ugali, which you will find out what it is when you get here, believe me. But if you want a variety, you'll definitely be spending a little bit on food. Bottle of water is about 30 cents, give or take. A bigger bottle of water is about 50 to 60 cents. But you don't need to buy a bottle of water. They have actual filtered water here, if that's a cost to you. Also, transportation. You can get anywhere here for relatively cheap. About 30 cents on a matatu to 50 cents on a piki, which is a motorcycle that they're just everywhere and you can just get them. You say piki, they come. So expect to spend a little on transportation once you get here also, but it really just depends on your budget. If you're okay with eating the same thing over and over again and drinking water through a life straw, which is the filter that they have here, you're good to go on that, but it's good to have a little extra money for transportation, like I say, and anything else you might want extra. Like you're gonna want to buy probably some souvenirs, which are still pretty cheap. We're in Africa, so everything relative from first world countries, you're gonna feel like you have a lot of money when you get here. So, subscribe to the channel.